So yeah, I like
Basically Asmodean values.
Yeah, Asmodean values.
Fires of virtue burning your heart.
Not virtues.
Well, not well. He has virtues, just not good ones, which is how we like it.
It's more like the fire of loyalty for Asmodeus.
Yeah, I like that.
Loyalty to us, it's we are uplifting him, or we have given him a chance to prove himself, and he has done so. And in doing so, since we are his masters, it behooves us to reward him for good service. This is the way of our group.
It seems that the ceremony in general pleases him greatly. Not that he sort of states any thanks, but he seems to enjoy himself as he equips the armor, sort of moves around in it a bit.
We have also could it be fair to say that with the armor is like a tabard, so you can drape around it?
Sure.
All right. So then the tabard would have a the symbol of let's say the symbol of the group. Sort of.
Yeah, not Asmodeus, because we got this made in town.
No, not Asmodeus, but of the group. So anyone who sees him can see that he is basically an officer or a lieutenant for us.
Time to launch paint.
Yeah, basically.
Well, before we get into describing that, let's see what else goes on for the next 3 months.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. The next 3 months is rigorous training with the good Andrastus Thorn, and even Theodora, who shows herself to be a very sadistic woman, enjoying whenever you fail and punishing failure quite strongly.
Kill it with.
Andrastus Thorn, however, his training is very focused, and he usually trains you as a group rather than as individuals. Focusing very much on your different capabilities and how you supplement each other. He doesn't really give much motivation, much reason for why he's training you this rigorously, but whatever it is, it seems that he has a very specific task in mind. How this is going to work is basically each of you will gain a trait, symbolizing the gain of skill you have gotten from this training, and you will then describe 3 scenes from your training sessions of where you did something to do with the bonus you received from the trait that made you succeed in a particular task. For example, a bonus to stealth could be you managing to avoid some dogs that were loosened against you and the party, thereby getting in a position to actually break their necks. Something like that. For this training, there are also some unique traits that are not usually on the list, that are specifically designed for this campaign to give you, and I will just put them in the chat. Or would you rather have them in Skype?
Skype would be better.
No, put them in the chat too, so the
Yeah,
audience
and-
can see.
Sure. I'll put them in Skype first. If I can actually get them in a decent Skype doesn't allow for those. I'll put them one by one. First one, Asmodeus is with you. Second one, deception is a tool. Master it. Third, discover what is real and what is illusion. Next is fear nothing save our dread Lord. Focus strengthens your will. Let us perfect your favorite spell. quiet as death. Strike first, strike ruthlessly, and thus be victorious. Wear your armor like a second skin. And the last is you shall be my angel slayer. I'll just give you a little bit to consider which one you would want, and perhaps to think of some scenes, one for each month, that your character has gone through in this training. I'd also like to you to include how you helped another character in at least one of these stories.
That very last trait is the most difficult one, I think, to make a scene for.
Yes.
I doubt he summoned any angels on us.
Well, we can study angels.
Here's a dummy angel for you.
Polymorph.
Summon Monster 9, Diva Angel.
You'll also notice as you train that the other group, the White Ravens, are actually training as well. It seems whenever you are in training, they are, and you don't really meet them that much. When you do, though, they tend to seem like they're a bit better than you.
What?
Demeanor. At least they think so.
Oh, we'll show them.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright, so these are the traits we can choose from?
Yes.
Okay.
At least you can, if you have a good argument for why, you can pick a normal trait. But beyond that, these are the recommended ones.
Okay. So, what are you thinking, guys?
I'll definitely take the +2 to initiative.
Same here.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Everyone.
It's a really good one.
No, Jonas, you can't take that one.
I can.
You can't?
I
Because
can.
don't you already have reactionary?
Yeah, but
They don't stack.
they don't?
Nope.
Why don't they?
Trade bonuses don't stack.
Both
either.
trade bonuses, they don't
Okay.
stack.
Very well
No,
then.
I can't take it either.
All the reactionaries.
While we are thinking about this, anyways, can we have a 10-minute break? I need to walk my dogs.
Sure, let's take a break now.
Oh, okay, that's great.
That should be fine.
Alright, 10-minute break.
The quiet as death one is just kind of tempting, just like,
Let's see, let us perfect your favorite spell. That is pretty good.
The problem I see with... I mean, it might be good for you, Jonas, because I don't think many wizard spells have that big of a cap, if it's not a damage spell. Unfortunately, my spells will have caps on them, which make them annoying.
Right.
I guess the wear your armor like a second skin thing would be good for me, but I mean...
It's useful for both. It's useful for both of us, actually.
Yeah, I know, but the +2 on bonuses versus some of the spell types is also really good.
You already have like super good saves, right?
Saves.
Yeah, so I'm thinking the wear your armor like a second skin.
You could go for...
I mean, in -1, it's not going to help you very much when you're in plate mail.
Yeah, I know, but... I mean, the only like spell one that I would go for would be the focus strengthens your will, and otherwise I would probably go with deception as a tool, master it.
Really? Aren't you like super honorable? I would never bluff.
Sense motive though.
Problem from his deception side of it. Like, how do you get away with describing how you trained in deception?
Does
Mastering deception doesn't necessarily mean master deceiving people.
It's
It
true.
means master the art of recognizing and doing it. And I'm not super honorable, I'm super loyal.
If I would say
I
if,
will lie my way through town if I have to.
if you don't have reactionary, the plus
do.
the +2 to initiative is really, really good. Like, it's gonna be so useful all the way up to 20.
I mean, it's something you can't really. There's not many sources to gain bonuses for.
Exactly. If you don't have perception as a class skill, there's a trait you could pick up for that. Not among these, but from the other traits, the normal
Oh, I
ones.
forgot there's other traits that we can pick too. I thought for a minute I was like, we have to pick from these, but then I was like,
No.
wait.
It's the trait I'm thinking of is Eyes and Ears of the City. It gives you perception as a class skill and +1 in it.
It is a decent one.
If you don't
Which is-
have perception, I mean. Because perception again is one of the most useful skills in the game.
I mean, I at least put a skill point in it, so I'm on 0 on it right now,
right.
which
So
is
I'm
something.
I'm basically between perfect your favorite spell and taking perception as a class skill.
You don't need bonus to bluff and sense motive.
I mean, that could be good, but I'm kind of relying on other people for bluffing.
Well, who actually has a? Well, I'm guessing Ty might have a decent bluff.
I've got. What is this?
I'm gonna grab a drink and try and
I
think
got
of
9 to
some
bluff.
scenes.
Alright, so there we go. That's the good Sir Knight is the best
So
bluffer.
the knight has bluff. I have the diplomacy and intimidate.
Right.
I have intimidate too.
Yeah, I decided to put a skill point in it, so now I have +9.
I
Just-
have
just
9
for double check
intimidate
purposes.
also. I have really good charisma-based skills, guys.
Well, it's because it's our primary stats.
But on the bright side, -7 stealth. Right? That's
you-
my best skill.
Sure. Jay, can you try to reconnect to the call? Your sound quality has dropped.
Hello.
Much better.
There we go.
Who has perception as a class skill?
Not me.
Not me.
What? What was the question?
Perception as a class skill.
Oh,
I
She
assume
does.
you have it.
I do, yeah.
Is she the only one?
Probably.
Hmm.
Why?
Might be good to have more people trained in that. So I might go for that, I guess.
Would make sense as you're the only one with a decent wisdom.
Yeah. I do like the
When I-
favorite spell, though.
When I'm an anti-paladin, am I allowed to take paladin only traits, but then just
Yes.
reverse them around to
Yes.
be evil?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, it's stated specifically in.
That's useful.
Of course, to a certain extent. Like if it's, lay on hands and you can heal double,
Well,
If
then it would just
something-
go to my touch of corruption, right?
But, if there's something weird, then you can just ask me. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, okay.
So if Tina is the only one, if Cash is the only one that actually has perception as a class skill, I might actually pick that. That is a trait outside of the list, though. But I would argue that Zachariah's keen mind and like the the horrific experiences from the past months and the dungeon and everything has taught him the value of being very observant. It's also something that is kind of close to his nature.
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh, hard to kill could be good. When you're attempting a Constitution check to stabilize when dying, the penalty on the check is only half your negative hit point total instead of your full negative hit point total. It's like easier for me to.
Malachi back?
I'm
yeah,
back.
Manakai's here. It's sheep that's gone.
I'm back now.
Oh, okay.
Malachi, did you say one of our situations had to help someone else, or?
In the party, yeah.
One of the three, or an additional fourth one?
One of the three. At
Okay.
least.
Well, I have an easy part because I have Cure Light Wounds, but the rest of you.
Well, that has to do with the trait.
Well, I could do it to do with the trait. This just depending on how I word it.
Sure. And nothing too long. Basically a montage.
Gonna have a
Training
montage.
Just the rocky music starts playing.
It's okay if the first thing is where you fail, and the next thing is where you help someone else, and the last one is where you succeed.
Yay.
I think that's the way to do it.
Probably. I think that's the contract.
I'm thinking of taking Quiet as Death.
Do you have a reactionary trait?
I would say no.
I would recommend, it's up to you, but I would recommend the +2 to initiative.
For the +1 caster level feat, or trait rather, do I have to know the spell already?
Yes.
Oh.
Which makes it absolutely useless because all my spells I have right now have caps, except like create water.
Oh man,
someone-
that's actually. That's
Unless I want
really
to create an
good.
extra 2 gallons of water, it's useless.
This is a really good trait, and I want it, but I don't know how to explain getting it. It's
Which one?
Careful Combatant. It makes it so that when I use Withdraw, it's the first and second instead of just the first that I'm not threatened in.
You are the
You
frontier,
got
don't need to
overwhelmed, you
withdraw.
decided to fall back.
Yeah, I guess, but.
Which makes it sound dramatic.
The insight that strategic withdrawals is very beneficial, and how to best do that.
I haven't hardly looked at like half of these, so I'll keep it open in a tab,
I would suggest figuring it out quite soon. As we will soon resume, and you will pick your traits, and we will go for the montage.